Welcome back, everyone, to the Doc of Detox show on DocStar TV. Today's show is Braveheart Women, Implants to Explants, The Road to Healing. I'm Dawn St. Louis, and I'll be your host for today. I'm filling in for Sharon Cusack and Sam Hopkins because, as you guys know, they have hit the road. And in just a few short minutes, they're going to be joining us. They are on their way to their healing journey. They're on a new page today. They're off to Guadalajara to see the wonderful surgeon, Dr. Buenrostro. And so, this has been an incredible journey for Sharon and Sam. They are pillars in the Braveheart community here in Ixtapa, Mexico at the World Training and Healing Center, and I'm so very honored to be sitting here today to bring you this live footage as they make their way to Guadalajara. And I can tell you, I'm looking at the screen right now, and they are just super excited to be coming on with us. And so, without any further delay, let's bring them on and let's see how they're doing.
Hello, Braveheart goddesses. It's so wonderful that we're here and we're in this beautiful van that Dr. Daryl Wolf ended up lending us so that we could go on this wonderful healing journey. And it's such an amazing time and we're just so excited. And I chose this shirt here today and it says, "We choose love." And that's what Sam and I are doing, but we're choosing not just love, but unconditional love.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, and we're on our way to Guadalajara, and our surgery is on Sunday, and we're doing both of our surgeries the same day. It take each one of us about 3 hours. And, and Dr. Buenrostro, we had him interviewed. And if you haven't seen his interview from last week, please go back and watch it because it is absolutely phenomenal. This man who was, somebody that came into my radar long before I even met Daryl Wolf. And it was like this manifestation in regards to Dr. Buenrostro. And then to find out that he hasn't done any implants in the last 3 years when he recognized all the breast implant illness symptoms that he was seeing, and he stopped doing them. So we couldn't be in better hands. And that's what's just so wonderful is that we can manifest whatever it is that we want to manifest. And it's just a matter of vibrating.
Exactly.
Right, Sam?
It was so cool. And the fact, that blew my mind in our last show, guys. If you haven't watched it, please do. And even I was chatting with my mum the other day and she was like, "I watched the show and I love the doctor. He's so wonderful." So that was so lovely. My mum's feeling comfy, so it's really nice.
And he absolutely is. I had to watch it. To be quite honest, I've watched it 3 times in totality because I was going to touch on, before we go into, your side of the magic of all this. I was blown away when I was watching that show, and the moment that he said, and I could tell that neither one of you knew beforehand, because mostly everything we do is unscripted. So I could tell in that moment of magic when he said, actually, I haven't done implants for 3 years because I recognized the first set of implants that I took out. I saw the health, I saw the improvement in that woman's health immediately. And I was just like, oh my gosh, talk about magic, talk about manifestation, talk about, you guys have done what it takes to trust, respect, protect, honor, forgive, and totally unconditionally love yourself enough to get to this point where you say, okay, you know what? This is no longer serving me or my health or my body.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
And you guys are setting the stage and paving the way for probably thousands, if not millions of women to take their life back and recognize that when you put a foreign object into your body, whether it's a breast implant, whether it's a hip, a shoulder, anything foreign that goes into the body will create an autoimmune response that your body will constantly be trying to get rid of, and it will create acidity, scar tissue, inflammation, calcification. And Sharon, I know when we did the interview with Jay Lee recently, you were touching on the fact that your bone density was coming back, that you were somewhere right on the cusp of being between osteopenia and osteoporosis. And I mean, this is a lady that's been at optimal health for at least 2 years, like really consciously eating right, thinking right, drinking right, emotionally stable, you know, teaching others. She's a leader in this community, and her bone density still says that, you know, she's right on that cusp. And I mean,
and you know, as we've been working through this process, and as in regards to the inflammation, it's like a thorn, and any, like Dawn was saying so eloquently, any implant is going to create inflammation because it shouldn't be there. So then what the body does, autoimmune response, so it creates inflammation, and that inflammation is acidic, and the body's only resource to buffer down the acidity is to pull calcium from the bones. And my breast implants, and it's really wonderful, this journey, because Sam's are under the skin above the muscle, mine are under the muscle right next to the ribs. And as we've been working on each other, and Sam can comment to that, as far as trying to, and I've been doing, you know, cell sonic on that calcification, because when Dr. Rostro was talking about the reason that there's so much calcification when you're under the muscle is because that implant is sitting right on top of the rib cage. And so, of course, it's the bone. So that inflammation, which is continuous, it's not going to like stop just because I lead I'm anti-inflammatory thoughts, anti-inflammatory lifestyle. And so it's not just going to stop because it's still a foreign object and it's still going to create inflammation. So if I wouldn't have been leading the lifestyle that I've been leading, and really I haven't drank milk for many, many years, but it's buffered it down, but it can never stop it until these are gone.
And so the lifestyle that Sharon's leading, that I'm leading, is absolutely maintaining us at a certain level and helping us with that. But like Sharon was saying, it's still happening like as a continual drip of inflammation, right? So just I feel so blessed that we're in the position that we're in. I'm really excited about where we're going to be in a week's time. So once this is done and these are out, we're going to feel incredible.
It's
so great.
This is like the manifestation. And when we go back to the manifestation, what is manifestation? And I was thinking about that in regards to how do we manifest? And how we manifest is we open up the blockages, both emotionally and physically. And going on with my journey with the protocols and strategies is that I'm peeling away these layers of these blockages that are hampering my ability to vibrate all the energy grids in order to be able to connect to the ionosphere, to our actual source creator. So we want to be able to tap into that. And when we tap into that, because the universe only knows yes. So when we that, and that's what happened with manifesting Dr. Rostro, is that I was already tapping into the fact that, these breasts, there's something going on there that I hadn't quite put my finger on it, but I was looking at the fact that, I need to look at this journey about getting these things out. And so he came into my radar, into the screen, into the spectrum of my frequency. And so then when I was down here and I talked to Sam about, I'm like, okay, let's do it. Then I went back, I couldn't remember his name, and I went back on that Facebook channel and found his do implants.
It's just crazy. And just going back to that manifesting point, like when I've spoke about when I first was coming here, this wasn't on my radar, but I did happen to pack with me my initial breast implant information. So I've got that all in an envelope. Like, what was that doing in my suitcase?
No way.
Just nuts.
No way.
So
you
use those pictures.
You can't make this stuff up.
You
You really
can't.
cannot
So-
make this stuff up. And I just,
No.
you know, it's been really amazing to watch this whole thing unfold. I mean, I've only been here since April, but I've been connected with Daryl Wolf and with Sharon for quite some time now, and we did some work together before I arrived here in Ixtapa at the World Training and Healing Center. But it's just been really magical to see all these moments along the way happen, and then we get to look back on them in retrospect and go, wow, everything just fits together like a puzzle. It's kind of like, you know, doing the edges of the puzzle first. You know, first you put all the edge pieces aside and the middle pieces over here, and then you put all the edges of the puzzle together first, and then, you know, then you fill in all the pieces in the middle, and then you get to see the great big picture of the puzzle, right?
Oh, there we go.
So it's been really, really quite inspiring to watch you guys. You know, I followed Sam from afar before I arrived in Ixtapa as well, and her journey, and just, you know, Sharon's launch of the Braveheart Women's Show actually was born from Sharon and I doing some work together while I was still in Canada covering the truckers' convoy. So Sharon had manifested the Braveheart Women's Show kind of without knowing it, but kind of knowing it at the same time. But it's all about the frequency, and it's all about what you're putting out there. She was ready, and working with me for a very short time when I was still in Canada actually paved the way, and it got the wheels spinning for her to actually create her own Braveheart Women's show here at the Doc of Detox TV and our Docstar TV. And it's just, and for Sam, you to be a part of this, I mean, it's just an honor to be sitting here. And I guess I must have manifested this too, because
just going to say,
here
George,
we are.
Did you know at that point when you and Sharon, and that was born, that Braveheart Women was born, that you were going to be coming down to Ixtapa? Did you know?
Well, you know what? All I knew was that I was a very big, I was very into Daryl's teachings for quite some time, and I was already putting it out there for myself that, listen, it's time for you to take massive personal action. But the problem was I was stuck where I was because, you know, everything was shut down and there was all kinds of rules and everything. So I had to find something. So I had to find something to do. So it's like, well, you know what? I'll just call this crazy Dr. Daryl Wolf and I'll ask him if he wants to cover the truckers convoy with me, because hey, it's going on. They're on their way, and this would take me right outside of my comfort zone. So anyways, fast forward, you know, 6 months, and here we are sitting. I'm sitting in the studio. You guys are on the road.
You're hosting. It's so
well,
great.
and you know what's really cool, and a lot of people don't know this story, is that I ended up contacting Dawn on a whim when I was sequestered after my heart drop. And I came across a post that Chris Sky had done, and did we lose you?
I think we're still going.
Oh, I was still going?
Yes, yeah.
That I had come across a post that Chris Sky had done, and it said if anybody wants to share something about the COVID and what's going on there, just call this number. And I called the number, and who answers it but Dawn?
Oh.
And then as soon as she heard my voice, she recognized, and she goes, "This is Sharon." And I'm like, "What?"
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and I had put it out there.
Doing some interviews with some of the people at the truckers convoy in Canada.
Real people, real stories is what we called it. And you know, funny enough, we're real people with real stories sitting here right now, sharing with the world on the best platform that we could possibly be on, with the best people. You know, it's just,
I know.
You can't.
It's like
put
you just
words
couldn't
to
write
it
any better.
No, it is such an honor.
It's just so fun. We're just loving this whole van. We've got the view in the front. Sort of going,
yes.
Yeah. She's our chauffeuress, and she's doing amazing.
Yes.
And in this van, sitting on this wonderful mat, and
actually, we call Lorraine the goddess around here, because in the past couple of months, Lorraine has had huge personal growth. It's quite obvious to us that know her and have followed her journey. She is just glowing, and she's gorgeous, and she's just killing it. So she's the driver and the videographer for this whole journey with Sharon and Sam. So she's going to be covering as much footage of this surgical journey as she possibly can. Now, I don't know if they'll let her in the OR. That's probably going to be where they're going to stop her. But every other
we're manifesting now.
angle.
We're putting it out there into the universe.
It's all out there. I think,
So let's what's up? Yeah, we're going to put it out there, and let's talk about how the manifestation, and also how, because we both got our implants for a reason, and people do. And so it's about a point in time when we are looking at our bodies and having paved the way of ourselves, our body image. That's what it was for myself, because I was, very thin and no hips and all these kinds of things. And I wanted some curvature. And the teasing was, of course, a huge factor. But it was about confidence, about acceptance of self. And the acceptance of self was coming from an outwards environment. And that's where my journey into the chapter and the book that we're going to be closing that chapter of, it was associated with that. So shedding this piece, which is these implants, shedding that so that then I can shine my light right from my heart center, because it's not sitting behind something that's foreign to my body.
Yeah, we definitely, we have like different stories, but coming from a really similar place. It's all about acceptance of self. All I wanted to do was feel feminine and not like a stick, and just be able to buy clothes without them just being too big all the time. That was one of the, and I think it just hung off me.
Yeah.
And just like the pressures of society and even people close to you. So, and when you just smile, because I'm like, what have you done? Chapter is the cool side that we're going through now, but like my mind, I've already moved forward. So yeah.
So if I can ask you ladies, Sharon, we'll start with you. What was the first step for you? Like, how did you get here? Like, how did you get to that place where you could actually just decide, okay, you know what, I'm going to take the first step, and I'm going to...
And really, what was the inspiration was following the perfect day. The perfect day.
Are you still with me, Sharon?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the first step for you was actually getting yourself onto the perfect day and sort of putting that into motion and sticking with it for a certain amount of time, and then what? You moved on to the next. Are you there, Sharon? Well, I guess we temporarily lost them for a few minutes, but oh, Sharon? Can you hear me? Hello? Okay, so maybe they're going through a little bit of a dead zone, but so yeah, I was just asking her, like, what made you decide to take this leap? How did you get yourself to that place where, you're totally trusting, honoring, protecting, respecting, forgiving, and totally unconditionally loving yourself? And that's what it takes, guys. When you put these things, when you take that Braveheart oath and you take the perfect day, and you take some of the strategies and the protocols that Dr. Darrell Wolfe has come up with for us, and you start implementing these things into your life, the substantial differences that you start to see almost right away, it's actually quite mind-blowing just how quick you can change your frequency, and you can raise your vibration so quickly when you can go to the mirror and you can look at the person that's reflecting and just totally be looking into your own eyes and promising yourself every day that you will honor, respect, trust, protect, forgive, and unconditionally love yourself. And I'm not saying it's perfect right off the hop, and none of us are perfect really, but it is an oath, it's a commitment, it is a decision that, you know, no matter what happens today, I will do these things to honor myself and protect my vibration so that I can live my dreams and my goals, and I can start filtering things that do not align with what I want for my life. And so the first step for Sharon was, like she said, just to get herself, a perfect day consult and get herself living that perfect day, getting up every day and doing the mirror work, doing the belly button therapy, doing the clapping, and just, whatever product. I mean, there's a few products we recommend everybody take, and then there's, certain protocols that we recommend, but it's all about deciding that you are going to take your life back and you are going to stand in your power and do whatever it takes to just honor yourself and love yourself. So so we're going to see if we can get Sharon and Sam back on the line here. We seem to have lost them completely, so let's just see if we have anybody here. We don't have anybody. Okay, so we'll just keep going. So anyways, so a couple weeks back, I did I was here in the studio with Sharon, and we had a lady by the name of Maurice come on, and Maurice had actually just had her breast implants removed, I think a week prior to that show. And we were really, really blown away with some of the things that she had to say. She had only had I think she had her implants for, I think it was, Yark, do you remember how long she had her implants? It was quite a while. I think it was probably almost the same time that Sharon's had hers, but anyways, don't quote me on it, but she had them in for quite some time. And when she had them removed, she was sharing with us that when the drains were installed, when she came out of recovery in the few days following her surgery, when her drain tubes were excreting the fluid from inside her chest, the smell was like death. And that was really eye-opening. Oh, I think we have them back. Hey guys! We can't hear them. You have to unmute yourselves, ladies.
Okay, there we are.
Okay, can you guys
hear us
flip?
now?
Yes, can you flip your phone around?
Like that?
Perfecto. Yay! Welcome back.
Thank you.
Well,
So
as you know, guys, as you know, the show must go on. So I was just kind of, filling in the
Talking
space.
about, yes.
I was just kind of touching
That's
on what you were saying, Sharon.
So you did an amazing job.
Well, thank you. Okay, so let's move on to the next question, and I think this question is going to be quite magical. I want to know, how are you ladies feeling right now? What is this moment like for you guys? Because it's all about the present moment. I want to know, because you guys look pretty damn excited, but people are really good at hiding things. So how do you feel? Oh, did we lose them again? Oh no.
I think it would be better to make a phone call.
Do you guys want to try to get them on the phone instead? Yeah. Okay, so why don't you guys
do
that? Oh,
we're back.
Hi. Okay.
Hi.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so let's touch on, be fast and I'll answer it fast. Let's touch on what?
So I want to know, how are you guys feeling in this present moment right now? Like, how has the day been for you guys? Where's your heart? Where's your mind? You guys look fabulous. You look really relaxed. You look like you're leaning into each other and just kind of embracing this journey. But we want to know how you guys are feeling right now.
Honestly, quite a bit of a giddy kids. I feel really excited, and I know some of it will be nerves, but the excitement's overruling it. I feel like we're just on the cusp of doing.
Okay, so do we want to go ahead and try to get them on the phone because we've lost them again? So, yeah, let's go ahead. We're going to try to get them on the phone, and we're going to be right back with you guys in just a quick second.
Doing something like so and feeling how I've come to this point. It's amazing. Yeah. How about you, sweetheart?
You know, I was built for this. This is my passion, and to live my passion through the eyes of my own body and through shedding these layers, so that then
Sorry, guys, bear with us. Mexico is not the best for cell phone reception, especially when you're driving along the mountains and the different dips and everything. So anyways, I really want to know how these ladies are feeling, but judging by their energy and just, they look super fabulous to me. I've been looking forward to seeing them all day long, and now, you know, we have them in they're on the road, and it looks like they're doing really well. So yeah, so back to until we get them on the line again. So, you know, I was just saying, especially being a Canadian and knowing what's going on back home and the ups and downs of the past, you know, nearly 3 years now that we've been just on this roller coaster of emotions and you know, power and control, and just, you know, feeling like we're not sure what to do. You know, at least, you know, when you bring yourself, ladies, if you could just unmute, we would be able to hear you again. They're back again. We're going to try this again.
okay, yeah, no problem. So when we come back on, if it goes, then we'll just use the phone. And
yes, please.
I don't know if much of that came through as far as my explanation, as far as how I'm feeling, but
well, you know what? You could always you could go ahead and we could recap it if you like.
you know,
Sharon.
start again. This is what I've been designed to do and be for the last 35 years. It's all my healing and my alignment journey. So really, it is about realigning. And this passion that I have deep inside of me is only so, I'm so excited because this passion that's so deep rooted from when I was just a teenager, as far as being fascinated with how the body works and everything associated with that. Now I can take this journey and uncover these things within my own self, these issues within my own body. And we do not need to look at our bodies in a way, because when we look in the mirror and we love, honor, and respect ourselves unconditionally, first and foremost, then that is the key.
Absolutely.
That is what it's all about.
Yeah.
And this is what this is all about. This is the excitement. This is the burning passion within myself. And it's like I said to Daryl, I said, you know, I said, I'm on such a projectile here, but this is kind of like something I need to do. So, okay, get this next. On we go, because we've got master classes we're producing as far as the implant to explant. There's master classes that we're doing that are associated with frequency and just PTTs, all of it. I mean, like, I'm ready to rock and roll. I just need to like move out and get my body back, that my God-given, my Mother Nature body that I was born with. And that is where I can really thrive within my authentic self, because that's when the little girl will really come out.
Absolutely, absolutely, Sharon. And I
she already plays a lot, right?
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you on behalf. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Oh dear.
Yep.
Okay, so I was just saying, I just want to say thank you to you guys on behalf of all women out there who are either thinking about implants or thinking about explants or anywhere in between. Just know that you can have your life back. You can have your health back. You can let go of these invisible binds that keep you locked down and stuck in your own mind. They're just dysfunctional belief systems, and if you're willing to do what it takes to learn some new information and create some new beliefs, as Daryl would say, you can't delete and replace, but what you can do is you can learn new strategies, and if you're willing to do the work, and honor yourself and show up for yourself every day and do these simple things that we teach you guys. Anybody can own their life. Anybody can step back into their power. I don't care what you've been diagnosed with, where you think you're at, what you think about yourself today. It is all about the present moment. It's always been about the present moment, and you can own that at any time you want. You don't need permission. You don't need anybody to tell you how to do anything.
It's about the focus.
It's about focus, exactly. Thank you, Sharon. You're back. So, ladies, I want to know, how has your story changed? Because this is a new page for you guys. Like, you guys have gone from self-loathe to self-love, but this next chapter is where the magic is. Like, I mean, this is now self-love into self-care, which is actually standing in your power, taking your health back, taking your body back, like you said, Sharon, your God-given, natural, beautiful body. And now, what would your first page of your new chapter say? Like, what's the beginning of your new story? I think we might have lost them again. This is fun. Oh, this is so fun. Sharon and I spent the day together yesterday.
Totally about yes.
We're having a really hard time hearing you guys, but next time you guys get into a good cell service spot, I'm going to get you guys to pull over, and that way we know you're in a good spot and we can actually keep you here so that you can chat with us. But yeah, so Sharon and I spent, do you guys want to try to get them on the phone while we just kind of keep chatting here, and that way maybe it will work a little bit better. So yeah, Sharon and I actually spent a good amount of time yesterday together.
Yep.
Oh, hi ladies. Can you hear me, Sharon?
Can I hear you?
Yes.
No.
Oh, she can't. Can you hear me now? Sharon? Sharon?
There we go, got you. We've got you. Can you hear us, honey?
Yes, we can hear you. Yay. Okay, so.
Okay, so the story. How the story has changed. So, Sam, do you want to start?
Yeah, sure.
How's her story changed?
My story changed. I haven't had the longevity within Dr. Detox protocols and stuff that Sharon's had. So I literally found Daryl like a month before I came out to Ixtapa, which was in September last year. So I didn't have that time with all of everything. And I was, so I mentioned before, I was going to actually get my implants replaced when I was in the UK before coming out, and this wasn't on my agenda at all. So it kind of happened really quickly for me, and then within the second course is when I decided. So for me, it was through the immersion of doing the courses and being Ixtapa and being surrounded by incredible like-minded people and just immersing in all of this way of living, and yeah, so that's when my story changed, and deciding to continue with these protocols and practices and lifestyle. So yeah, it's quite a turnaround, I reckon.
Yeah, and you know, it's really quite amazing when you look at the fact that even with one course, one whole life coach course, and I highly recommend for the viewers to look at this very seriously. And Daryl's doing a tour throughout the United States and Canada and offering the courses to people in Barrie, Ontario and in McKinney, Texas. And if you really want to kickstart your world into something where you're journeying into a place of unconditional self-love, I would highly recommend that you go and sign up for the Whole Life Coach course. If you're struggling in things that you're just repeat, and you just feel like the world is just on, like your world is on a hamster wheel that you just can't seem to get off, then the fact is that these dysfunctional programs are just running their repeat cycle, and you need to have somebody that can create that crack, so that then that crack creates a vibration within you. And then as you focus on this, as you focus on the fact that we are electric vibrational beings, we are vibrational beings, and when we focus on the fact that we are, that little crevasse that Daryl opens up, if you're willing to allow him to, and he's brilliant in what he does in that room, and I've been in that room 12 times, and so I've seen it, and I've witnessed it, and I've observed it, and it's been so beautiful to see the transformation in individuals, and everybody has the opportunity to do that. Transform yourself. And if you cannot make it to one of the Whole Life Coach courses, then go on to the docofdetox.com and go to the masterclass and sign up for the Braveheart Emotional Intelligence Masterclass. It is something that everybody should do. It's free. Use the coupon code Braveheart free. And I'll tell you, as far as rewriting my story, it's all about step 11 and step 12, about the recall healing, the mind mapping, and the recall healing and writing a new story, because that's what this is all about. And so what I'm doing here, and it takes courage, but courage is wisdom. And that's what this is about. This is about being wise, so that then you can sit back and you can become the observer of self. And when I started to observe myself, then that vibration, all those little cracks, that vibration started to, originally it was maybe 2% or 3% as some of that extra vibration was coming in. Then it became 5%, 10%. Because when you realize that we are vibrational beings, that it's all about the vibration. So when we tap into the ionosphere, we tap into our energy grids, we tap into our intuition, we tap into our pineal gland, we tap into all these grid systems within our body, because it is about frequency. We can heal ourselves. And the nutraceuticals that we have associated with it all, they are powerhouses as far as increasing the vibration. That's why we call them nutraceuticals and not supplements. So what I ended up doing, as far as changing my story, I changed it because I allowed that crack to become a crevasse, and that crevasse to become a bigger spectrum and a bigger spectrum. But it takes focus. And so I'm rewriting my story because I'm allowing myself to vibrate at the highest frequency I possibly can. And every day I'm still doing a little better, And I know I can't vibrate to the extent that I can vibrate at with these implants in my body.
Totally. And I look up to you, Sharon, and I'm just so happy for you, and I'm really, really excited to be a part of, your new book that you're about to rewrite. And only you know what that means, but I am just so looking forward to seeing how this unfolds. I'm looking forward to working with you and, going out there and changing lives together. It's just going to be a fantastic journey. So, how about...
And I'm so happy that we're here together. I mean, this is just amazing. And everybody that's on the Braveheart Women's Show right now, I have men that are contacting me, and they're really enjoying the show too as well. It is absolutely phenomenal, because we need the men to stand out, because the women lost their femininity, but the man lost their masculinity. Totally. And so it's not just about the women. So we need the gods and we need the goddesses. But we need the men to stand up for women and to not allow this violence anymore. Not look at a woman's breast, because our breasts are on display. But a man's most vital organ that he would never want on display is not judged and juried. And so we are. And so men need to respect women, whatever shape, size, color, whatever it is that they
Absolutely.
have. And so respect them and stand up for women, and don't allow this violence, don't allow this suppression, don't allow the divine femininity to be squelched, because we are the powerhouses, because we house the spark of life. And that is what we want to do. And we need to gather within that realm, and the men need to stand up.
They really do. The women are already rising really powerfully, and I've really noticed that with the people that are coming to these courses is predominantly women. So the men need to rise up into their power and take their part of the responsibility for what has been and what happens going forward. So, and I think, like we say, you're being contacted by men. This is fantastic.
Yes,
Absolutely.
it is. It's beautiful. I'm getting like this beautiful feedback. It's like, wow, it was like such a cool moment when the doctor said that, and that came from a man friend of mine. And Rob, you're probably watching. And hello, because you're amazing. You're amazing.
Okay,
and you know,
so
and that's what this is about.
Yeah.
Just let the men be men. Let them protect our family. Let them be the protectors, because that's what you guys are designed to be. And let the women be feminine nurturers, connected to Mother Nature. You know, having that vibration of just everything. And let's just vibrate as high as we can, and let's change the vibration on this planet.
Absolutely, absolutely. And anybody that's considering coming down here, making their way down to the World Training and Healing Center, especially if you're coming from Canada, now's the time, guys. I mean, there's nothing stopping you from leaving right this moment. And I think it's a really good opportunity, since we've been locked down for so long with all these rules and everything. If you've been considering this, now would be the time, because as we know, as we approach the cooler weather, we hope we're wrong, but we see this great big lockdown coming again, and people being isolated again. And this is why we're creating this beautiful Zoom room, and we're going to have a lot of different trainings to choose from. If you are looking to do training from afar and give yourself something to do, and have some personal and professional growth happen in your life from afar. But anyways, we just want to see.
We can come to you with the personal treatment and training.
Exactly.
I can come to you, and we could have workshops, and we can sit there, and it doesn't have to be about the women. It could be couples. It can be, pain-free pregnancy, the pain-free pelvis. I mean, it's all about, aligning ourselves. We don't need to be stuck in the cycle of pain and suffering. Right. So we have two choices. You can choose the Suffer program, or you can choose the Unconditional Self-Love program. So what is it that everybody wants? Come on. Let's just get on it, and let's decide to get out of our own way, because the biggest block is ourselves. So look in the mirror, tell yourself you love yourself, gaze into your eyes, and find that little girl and that little boy, and let them come out and play. And we want to play with you, because I am so ready to play.
So tell me, how was it for you releasing the emotional attachment, not only to your breast implants, or the way your breasts look when they're bigger, but talk to me a little bit about, because we don't have a lot of time left, ladies, but talk to me about how were you able to release some of the emotions that were surrounding your breasts? Like, did you have a lot of non-surgical done on your breast? Did you have emotional releases as you were preparing for this journey? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, in regards to the emotional release, I mean, what happened is that it really started to become quite profound, because I mean, when you're a master practitioner, and I'm very busy with doing the Wolf Non-Surgical at the Healing and Training Center, and also doing Perfect Day consults, that I've done a fair amount of work and continue to do that in around the breast. But you kind of feel that, I'm feeling like really good, and I think I've got this. Well, it became very apparent when I was the model in the breast restoration course a couple of courses ago, just 2 months ago, the cycle before this past one, and then Sage went in and he. But what happened was he didn't.
Sharon, because censor.
Because it was.
We're having a little bit of, you're cutting out on us a little bit there, my friend. Can you hear me, Sharon? Yeah, so Sharon is talking about, and I was actually, I was a part of that course that she's referring to, and basically Sharon and Sam opted in to help train and be the bodies in the room for the demos for the Wolf non-surgical course that actually happened in June. So Sage went in there during the demo and actually found quite a block within Sharon's right breast, and I believe he later pointed that out to her, that wow, you've got some work to do there on that side. I felt quite the block there. So yeah, and she knew that she was already planning, her and Sam were already planning this journey together to go and have their implants removed. So she became very much aware at that time. And it totally makes sense, because on the right side of a woman's body is her masculine side. So this is where we would store most of the emotions, whether they're positive or negative. On the right side of our body, it's our masculine side, and I won't go into it any further because I don't know anything about it. I just know that part. But yeah, so she was not surprised when Sage informed her that, she's got quite a bit of something going on. And I had heard Sharon speak about about some of the emotional attachments and some of the emotional stuff that she had going on with her breasts, because Sharon, as she was growing up, Sharon grew up with 6 brothers. So, all through her life, they were teasing her. They were poking at her. They were, not making her feel very beautiful. They were not honoring themselves, therefore, not honoring her. And what ended up happening is she developed, this poor self-image of her chest. And so, this is what led her into her implant journey. And, Sharon will tell you that it was a positive thing in her life at the time, because it brought her out of this really bad headspace that she was in. So her breast implants really did serve her at the time when she got them, because she then began to feel better about herself, and she was able to work on, she was able to start her whole path in the area of natural health. Sharon has been practicing in the natural health field and has been a very healthy person herself for the past 30 years. So it was only 5 years into her health journey that she got the breast implants. So here we are 25 years later, and she's now decided that she's released enough of all these negative emotions that she had that were attached to her breasts, and now she's in a position where she can. Yeah, we can hear you, Sharon. I'm just going to finish up what I was saying. I was just touching on the fact that you're at a point where you've arrived at being able to release a lot of the negative emotion that you had trapped inside your breasts, and now you're in a position to be able to empower other women by going and paving the way and opening up the door, opening up the conversation, opening up the perfect day protocols, and sharing them with all women out there who are struggling with these issues around their breasts. Because I'm willing to bet, even though you had the breast implants, Sharon, do you feel like it was a Band-Aid emotionally? Like, were you still trapping all these really
Totally,
traumatic emotions?
Totally. And you know what? And the emotions associated with, the right breast, the right side of the body is your masculine side. The left side is your feminine side.
Yes.
And the amount of emotion, and Sam witnessed it because she was there in the room and opening that up and doing the cell sonic, and the amount of emotion that came out of my right breast. And it was at a point where it was like a poker that been in the fire. And what it is with the Wolf non-surgical for our audience is that what we're actually doing is we're releasing, the pain is the release of the emotion. So we're not actually inflicting pain onto somebody and any of the discomfort. It's actually the release of the emotions that are trapped in there. And each time we can release those, then things ebb off. And and then the left one, I had a chunk of calcification that was probably like the size of, I don't know, like a walnut, that was right underneath, because of course there's so much calcification that's bound itself to the breast implant under the breast, because my implants are sitting right on top of my ribs, and because of the inflammation and the acidity, it's just constantly drawing calcium from my ribs to buffer down the acidity. And she ended up opening that up, and it was like a spear that went underneath my breast, and it was like poof.
And it was like energy. We looked at each other, didn't we? Because it sounded really loud as well.
Yeah.
And
it just disappeared.
It's incredible. And as a practitioner, like, just witnessing this has been absolutely amazing for me.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, so I went into a little bit of your background, Sharon, as far as the emotional issues that you had attached. I was, just telling everybody, and I'm sure they've heard it from you already before, but you did grow up with 6 brothers. So, you got poked at and teased, and you had all this false
layers.
You had all this false perception of what you were supposed to look like, that you were not good enough, all those types of things. So I was just saying that only 5 years into your health career, you decided that the implants were going to bring you to a better place in your life, and they did. They did serve you at that time in your life, right, Sharon?
Yes. Yeah, they did. I mean, they totally did, because what it did was, then it took that off the plate, and so then it built me up, because I mean, when you're inundated with things like that, and we all have traumas in our life, and it's a learning thing. So I reflect back, because there wasn't enough unconditional self-love. So instead of looking deep inside of myself, then I was looking from the outside, but it served a purpose. Absolutely, 100%. It served a purpose.
Right.
And now it's like. And so as far as the releasing of the emotions, it's so important. And when we release the emotions, we set ourselves free. And
100%.
Sam can talk to that too as well.
Yeah, it's just been magical. And the right and the left breast for both of us have been different. The right breast for me has been really angry. We were kind of laughing the other day. We had a really funny session where I had a really angry right boob, and I almost whacked Sharon. I put my hand on I was just like, but it was incredible, and I had a really interesting physical release as well.
Yeah.
Like, because I spoke about the internal itching that I've like suffered with or felt as a symptom, and the whole right side of my body went into that itching, and I felt like my skin was crawling and I was literally sticking my hand.
Oh yeah,
it was bizarre, wasn't it?
Really, she jumps up and she's like itching her skin, and I'm like, okay, like it was like she was itching. It was like itching to come out.
Yeah,
it was itching to come out.
Really,
I was like, so it's like
so
itchy.
much anger was released.
Oh yeah, I was like,
moment,
I was like, do I have to duck?
Literally, it was hilarious. But then the thing that I really reflect on as well is, as practitioners, we to actually know where to go with this and how far to take it, so someone can have that full release.
Yes, that's right. It's really important.
Right.
Absolutely priceless for us as practitioners, and doing this together and holding the line for each other in that way, and then the emotional support when the release happens. It's just been phenomenal.
Yeah, it has been. It's really been amazing. And it's been just such like magical moments. And it's just like, oh my gosh, it was like so crazy. Yeah, because I don't know for the viewers whether whether they've seen my piece on the sphenoid bone, but I decided that I needed some extra help, especially around my right breast when Sam was going in the poker on fire. And I hummed. I ended up chanting and hummed, and I said to her, I said, okay, do not stop until I tell you to stop, because I kept humming and humming and humming, and afterwards,
it was so beautiful. It was more than a hum; it was a guttural.
Yeah.
It felt almost connected to earth, shamanic. Sound. It wasn't Sharon, and I said we weren't alone. I didn't feel like we were alone, and then you thought about that and you expressed stuff. I don't know if you want to share it now, but it was, I knew we weren't, and I knew something had come in to give us a little hand there. So it was super beautiful.
Yeah, my father, and it's all about energy, because and you could tap into that. So the sphenoid bone, and that was my goal. I wanted to hum, and I wanted to bring in the power of the pineal, vibrate the power of the pineal, and vibrate those wings of the sphenoid bone, but with the fascia and the neurotransmitters and all of the above, so I could tap into something that was bigger than myself.
Absolutely.
And this is what I really liked as well, is that it's practitioner and patient or client. It's a joint effort. This
Absolutely.
It's not just
us going in and doing what we do. Like there's
Yeah.
participation on both sides, which is where that connection happens as well.
Oh, it was beautiful. And
Totally.
so here you have Sam, because she's connected to her breath. She's connected to the divine source energy. And I'm pulling it in through her elbow as it's being guided, and through, through my body, through all of the beautiful neurotransmitters and the vibrational cells that we have, because we are vibrational beings, all the light energy. And so it became just this entanglement of this most beautiful and magical divine moment, because there is no way that I could have gone to that extent, because it was like she couldn't even put her finger on that spot, like rested on that spot.
Wow, incredible. And it's always about energy. It's always about energy. We are light energy, electromagnetic frequency beings, and we give off electricity and frequency. And when you put yourself against another human being, there's got to be the right intention and the right chemistry there. Otherwise, there's just going to be the healing that you guys are experiencing working on each other, because you guys are very like-minded and you're on the same journey together. You want the best for each other. You're leaning into each other. So it just makes it that much more special. And what would you say, Sharon, to any woman out there who's considering having their implants removed? What would you say to her?
You know what? It's all about self-empowerment, and start off, looking in the mirror and saying to yourself, I love you. I mean, gaze into your eyes and connect with that, because when we look in the mirror, you actually have a delayed reflection of the energy that you're actually emitting from yourself. So breathe everything through your heart, because your heart is a rhythm, and breathe everything. So there's only two rhythms in the body, your breath work and your heart. So the heart has the highest frequency organ. So when you look in the mirror, breathe through your heart and tell that little authentic, that little girl that you're trying to uncover and get her to come out to play, that you love her, and say it over and over and over again, and allow that empowerment to build within yourself. And so look at your body and say, you know what? Mother Nature gave me this, and I want to vibrate at such a high level. So I want to empower myself to vibrate there, and sign up for the emotional intelligence. The coupon is BRAVEHEART free on the Doc of Detox masterclass, and start working through those steps. Start saying the oath. Start letting the people off the hook. Move yourself from a place of suffer to a place of self-unconditional love, because that's the two choices that we have. And we do not need to suffer. And let yourself be free, because these are trapping your breath. They're trapping the heart rate. They're trapping the energy of the heart. The woman you were just talking about, Maurice, that came on, she said as soon as she got the bug, she could breathe better, because they're entrapping.
She did
and so
say
we
that.
want the rhythms of the heart and our we can't create it unless these are gone.
Absolutely.
To the extent that we can be.
Absolutely.
And so look at that from that perspective, and give yourself that gift of being present and really recognizing what these are actually. And feel around your breasts. Feel around it. Feel the calcification. Feel the different hardness in the areas. That is telling you the story. And give yourself that gift of
unconditional love. Self-love is the answer. Self-care is the cure. Okay, so ladies, I'm just going to run through a few comments and questions here really quick before we sign off. Slavika says, I wish them well and a fast recovery. Love and energy being sent. Love and energy. I was
Feeling
just,
into it, yeah.
Sharon, are you there? Sharon? Yeah, so love and energy being sent to you, lovely ladies, from a Facebook user, not sure.
Yeah.
Ladies, awesome show. Hi, could you, Maria Albanese says, hi, could you recommend your doctor in Guadalajara for the explant? So the surgeon's name is Dr. Buen Rostro, correct? B-U-E-N-R-O-S-T-R-O. Is that right, Sharon?
Rostro.
So-
I have read that is right. Buen Rostro, and he's in Guadalajara. So it's
Yeah.
I'm anticipating, and we have requested him to be on the Braveheart Women's show next week, so that he can comment to exactly what he found in the differences between Sam's Mind, the Explant, and we'll have the actual images of the encapsulate and the actual the implant themselves. And so we're going to have quite a story. And he's just this amazing man that, he's just amazing.
He really is. He truly is.
Reach
Okay,
out.
so let me run through some more of these. So Gia says, sending lots of love. I want to read you guys
Thank
the
you
comments
so much.
because, this is a pretty unique situation. You guys are on the road, so I feel like you need to hear them. So Mike says, I've never wanted my wife to get implants. Natural beauty, 100%. Thank you, sweetie. I believe in natural beauty too. Brenda, Brenda says, hello, you two beautiful ladies.
Hi, Brenda.
Is that Brenda Bushfeld?
Yes, it is.
Hello, sunshine. We love you. We miss you, Brenda. Yeah.
And then Mike again says, safe recovery, Sharon and Sam. So that's it for today, ladies. Listen, please.
And, I would like to thank you for all of your well wishes and the vibrations. And remember that the universe only knows yes. So whatever we put out there as our vibration, it attaches to that frequency. And that's the spectrum of existence that we create for ourselves. So make that spectrum as wide and as vibratory as possible. That is the key to self-empowerment.
100%. I couldn't have said it better myself.
And I can feel the vibration of everyone online as well. It's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. We're all really
woman, and you know what? Congratulations, Dawn. You're now a master practitioner.
Thank you.
And you know what? This is so amazing. This is so amazing, and this is what love is all about. And the power of love is here now. And there's a beautiful song by Alexia Chella, "The Power of Now." Listen to that song. If you are thinking and if you are feeling that you need to empower yourself and you need something to spur you on, turn that on every morning, every night. Clap yourself, connect with yourself, and that will create the empowerment. And this empowerment will continue and let the crack open to a crevasse, and the crevasse open to an absolute spectrum of desire, because that is what this is all about. And join us. Go and check out braveheartnation.com for the courses. Book a personal treatment and training will come to you, and whatever it is, we are here for you. And this is what this is all about. It's a global march to self-empowerment.
Absolutely.
One step at a time.
Well, ladies, I am just so honored to be marching this global march next to you guys. You guys have been just incredible leaders, and look what you're doing. You're empowering other women to stand up and say, no more. I am worth it. I am love. I am Braveheart. I will love, honor, protect, respect, forgive, and totally love myself no matter what, before anybody, anything. And that's it. You hold the line for yourself, ladies. You do not need approval of anybody else. You are everything. You have everything. And just know that you can have anything you want, including your life back and including yourself. And thank you so much, ladies, for having me in the studio with you guys today.
You're welcome.
This is me.
Welcome. Thank you, Dawn.
This is me, as always,
You're amazing.
getting uncomfortable, getting nervous and uncomfortable, and just going with the flow, because I was truly meant for empowering humanity, and this is my passion, this is my purpose, and I'm going to stand in that power no matter how uncomfortable I am. And I'm so happy to have you guys.
Remember, anytime you're uncomfortable, that is when you are growing. Remember that, audience. You say and look in the mirror, whenever I am uncomfortable, that is when I am growing. And this is, you just grew tenfold today, this wonderful, beautiful goddess.
So amazing.
And all of you out there, you can all have whatever it is that you imagine. Use your imagination, get uncomfortable, and live the life that you so deserve. and we love you. And let's go get off with a 3, 2, 1. Love, honor, and respect.
3, 2, 1. Love, honor, and respect. You got this, Braveheart. We love you.
Braveheart, we love you, we love you. Bye.
Oh, that was fun. That was so fun. I love her so much.